Hello everyone, hello and welcome to a fabulous draft analysis art show thingamadoo hickory. I've done these before and they have been wildly successful among the art world. I've been called the modern day Van Gogh and the better Picasso. Previous examples of my work are as follows. We had last season this wonderful illustration of our championship winning team, such as Zera Aura, which is horrific, this Galarian Zapdos, which turned out okay, and this Mega Venusaur, which will haunt me in my dreams forever. And then the season before, we have what can only really be described as Staraptor Gate, because Staraptor. I mean, Palpitoad in both. That's cool, right? Anyways, we must move on. Let me see. How is my brush? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Undo that right away. Much better. That's just a little art tip for you. Check your brush before you start, Okay, so I had the 16th pick out of 16, which is my personal favourite place to draft. It means I don't get pressured into taking any Ubers, which I don't want, and it means I get the wheel pick. So I started off... Oh, by the way, I don't know what any of these Pokemon look like, and I'm doing this from memory, so that's just a little forewarning. So I started off getting a wonderful, wonderful Pokemon. It is truly, truly wonderful. Oh, that is perfect. Yep. Yep, so I wanted a good Fairy Dragon Steelcore right off the bat. A good Fairy type. Always pretty good in draft. And in the last few seasons, I've had issues with getting my Stealth Rockers too late. This kind of doesn't look right, but it looks okay. So I wanted to get some really good rockers right off the bat, and you might not be able to tell what this is yet, but now there is no mistaking that this is a Clefable. Round 1 Clefable. Quite interesting pick. Not a mon that I have used before, or even that I've rated as being particularly good before. But you know what? Its stats aren't the best, but its abilities are brilliant. Its move pool is insane. It is a very good fairy type. Gets stealth rocks, and it's mainly here for support, but it's pretty much as good a support as you're going to get. So it was an okay start, but mainly I'm trying to pair it with a good dragon and a good steel type. Now this steel type, I legitimately don't know what it looks like, so this is going to be interesting. I think he has kind of like a mean face. I think he's got some teeth. Looks kind of like a dinosaur, but whatever. And then he's like a big armory scaly boy. As I said, I don't know what this Pokemon looks like. Looks kind of like a Sandslash. I did not get round 2 Sandslash. He has like a weird bobble tail, I think. This is perfect. Oh, I'll give him like a little arm, because he's hench. This looks absolutely nothing like it. Okay, so this is Mega Aggron. If you couldn't tell, be surprised if you couldn't, because it is so fabulous. Kind of. Yeah, I actually want to go the lighter grey for this part, and the darker grey for the other part. honestly, it could maybe be an Aggron. But yeah, Mega Aggron, arguably like one of the best steel types in the game. It was only 13 points, and it's a mon that you kind of know is going to come to every single game, and it's going to do its job well. Its stats are kind of ridiculous. It's so physically bulky and very strong. 140 base attack stat is very, very, very strong. So do not sleep on this thing offensively. But, right off the bat, this gives me two Pokemon that work really well together, and it also gives me two excellent Stealth Rockers. So I kind of don't need to worry about hazards for the rest of this draft. Having said that, I did grab another Rocker next. There are a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things on my radar, and I grabbed a Mon, which I thought would be useful later down the road. Again, I don't know what this Pokemon looks like, so we're kind of going with the foot. That looks surprisingly okay. I feel like it has like weird arm parts, but I'm not going to do that because that's sort of what I was going for. Isn't this thing just white? Is it like a very light grey? I'll keep it white. So I drafted Nihilego. Very good special attacker, very strong. Gets both rocks and T-Spikes. T-Spikes was a big part of why I wanted this thing. It's very good as a T-Spiker. And it is just a Pokemon that can kind of steamroll with Beast Boost. I used it once before, and I didn't use it particularly well, but this thing is very, very strong. It's one of those ones you have to prep for. It's a win con week in, week out. However, looking at our team, we have something of a steel weakness. All of our Pokemon just lose to steel types, which is okay because of my next pick. This Pokemon, I really, really well and truly do not know what it looks like. Like, I think it has a face. And like a little smile. And then it has like these really weird things. Kind of looks like a bat, which is not really what I was going for. Honestly, this Pokemon is now Batman. Does it have feet? It must have feet. We'll give him little flippers. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I'm certain it has some kind of pattern. It's probably like this. And it's probably like this part is like a deeper purple, and the rest of him is kind of lilac. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. Yeah, so I drafted Mienshao next, which was a mistake, plain and simple. I wanted it because it's really strong, and it's a really good choice scarfer. And because of things I kind of knew I wanted to draft later down the road, I felt like having this thing specifically as a choice scarf was very useful. It is very strong. It gets U-turn, Regenerator, high jump kick with Reckless as well is very, very, very strong. Speed tier wise, kind of cringe picking two Pokemon within 2 base speed of each other on the wheel. But yeah, I thought it was good at the time. However, then Gray sniped me twice in one round, because I hated him. So the plan was Dragonite. I was building a team around Dragonite, Clefable, Mega Aggron, super cool. Dragonite very rarely gets drafted. I haven't drafted it before. The reason why I was leaving it is because I don't see it go very often, and there are like so many backups. It's like if Dragonite goes, I get Salamence. Salamence goes, I get Kyurem. Kyurem goes, I get Komodo. There were so many backups, so I felt like whatever Dragon I was going to get was going to be good. And then Grey grabbed Dragonite, which was annoying, but you kind of have to deal with it. But then he grabbed Starmie on the way back. It was like 1 or 2 picks before me, and I really, really needed Starmie. Starmie was like an excellent speed tier for this team. Really good typing, like I needed a water type, and Spin is very, very good. And you'll see later in the draft, it kind of affects me in a big way, because I'm just really scrapping around for replacements. Because Starmie, there was no replacement for that in the entire game. Starmie is pretty much the only thing that does what it does. Whereas Mienshao, like Infernape was still on the board. All of the Hitmons are there. There are like so many good fighting types that I could have drafted, and I didn't. But yes, so next up was I can remember what was next. And I kind of know what this Pokemon looks like. This one might end up okay. Do I know what this Pokemon looks like? We're about to find out. Okay, so up next, I wanted something that I pretty much always want in draft, and especially with some of the Pokemon that I've got already and some of the Pokemon I wanted later. That looks kind of okay. I really did this at the wrong angle, because now I need to draw some wings. For the first time ever, we are witnessing editing. Where are this thing's eyes? Why did I draw it at this angle? Okay, I'm just gonna oh god. Oh dear god, no. Oh dear god, that's horrible. Oh dear, that's funny. Look, he's got like wings now. Oh no, this started out so well. Okay, maybe if I give him little legs going this way. Okay, it's not gone well. He's got wings. He's kind of like a dark green. Oh, it started out so well. Okay, so I grabbed Vikavolt. Vikavolt I felt was a really good pick. I'm not sure if Araquanid was still on the board at this point, because that could have been a good choice. Ground resist, good water type, kind of bulky but also really strong, sticky webs. But Vikavolt is my personal favourite of the web setters. It's very good at setting webs and has reliable recovery, so it can set them up more than once if they remove them. And it's just very, very, very strong. It can run sweeper sets with agility, can be breaker sets with choice specs. It can just do a lot of things. And sticky webs with things like Nihilego and Mienshao is pretty good, because a Life Orb Nihilego under sticky webs, once it gets a beast boost, can kind of just steamroll you. And the next Pokemon I drafted as well was something that I really, really felt was a good wheel pick to go with Vikavolt, just because it really, really likes those sticky webs. It is extremely, extremely strong. Actually has the same special attack stat as Vikavolt, I think. He looks kind of like this. And then he's it looks a bit like a pumpkin, but that's all about to change. Okay, I lied. It still looks like a pumpkin. Maybe the colors will change it. This is almost recognizable. This is like the best one since Clefable. Maybe I should give him little dots for eyes. Boop. Boop. Oh dear. Oh, I love it. Is it kind of like a deep blue or like a purple? Whatever, that'll do. So I grabbed Chandelier, which is good speed for this team at base 80. I didn't have that yet, and obviously that would have been Dragonite, but that got taken. And I didn't have a Fire type yet, and this thing is a nuke. You know, under Sticky Webs, Choice Spec sets, and Calm Mind sets, very, very strong, very viable. If you don't have a good fire switch in, this thing can kind of just rip you apart. I do feel like this was a potential mistake of a pick looking back on the draft. And I'm actually not sure if the other things I could have picked up are like still around. So it was basically between Chandelure and Incineroar. So yeah, so I could have gone for Incineroar as kind of like a bulky pivot. And it also would have also given me a Dark type, which, you know, would have definitely been useful for this team. However, I really like the idea of picking those picks in tandem, like two massive special nukes as well as Sticky Webs. It sounds pretty goddamn scary to me. But we shall see. The like grace period has expired, so I can't necessarily make all the trades I want. Which I kind of don't even think about making trades post-draft. I kind of like seeing how it plays out for the first few weeks and then making trades. Which is maybe not that smart. What did I grab next? Oh right, so after Starmie went, I was like, oh, Serena is the one, because Serena is good spinner and this is good. And so then I clearly didn't draft Serena in this wheel pick, and it went immediately, like the pick after me. Which is just wonderful. So now it's like absolute panic stations, because I need certain speed tiers, I need a lot of types, I need hazard removal, and I don't really have the points or the picks left to be able to do all of those things well. So, first thing on the agenda was a water type. I need a water type. Where is my water type? It doesn't exist. Let's go over here. Oh yeah, this is perfect. This is wonderful. Yeah, so I picked a water type that was inspired by young David, because I've never seen this Pokemon used before, and he drafted it because the other draft was way ahead of us, and I was like, David, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna draft that boy. Oh, look at this. This is amazing. Even I can tell what this is. He needs claws. He needs claws. He needs claws. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. The art was looking bad for a bit, but I think I just rescued it in the most tremendous way possible. Yeah, so I grabbed Feraligatr. And the reason I grabbed Feraligatr was, oh god, I'm never going to hit this. Yeah, I could see that coming. Okay, there we go. There's my Feraligatr. So yeah, I picked this thing because my team was really lacking in physical offense. It was a Mienshao and Mega Aggron, which is mainly a defensive mon, and that was it. So I desperately needed a physically offensive mon. There were bulky waters that were available, but you know what? I like offense. I like balance, but I like balance slightly leaning towards offense. And Feraligatr gives me a win con, gives me a breaker. You know, Sticky Webs plus Wall Breakers is kind of a draft mode that I've done a lot of times, and it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. So in tandem with Feraligatr, I picked up something. Oopsie-daisies. I picked up something that I needed because I needed a speed tier and I needed a dark type, and I was looking around those dark types and looking around those speed tiers, and there was something that actually fell very, very nicely. This is like pretty much the only pick which I didn't plan for, which then when it fell to me, I was like, yep, that's kind of cool. Oh, look at this. Perfect. Probably has a tail. There we go. It's a Lowland Persian. Yeah. Very, very happy with this pick. You know, the speed it gives me is very useful. The parting shot support is excellent. And, you know, this thing is, like, not that bulky, but also not that frail because of its ability. But basically, at this point in the draft, I knew a certain Pokemon that I was going to get, and that Pokemon was going to be good for setup. And Alolan Persian, very good. And, you know, my team is, like, kind of not that bulky, but Alolan Persian makes things bulky because of Parting Shot. You know, I can Parting Shot into Chandelure or Mienshao or Feraligatr. So I think this thing is a very useful utility mon. I hope I can use it well, because I've used it once before and I didn't really get the most out of it. But that wasn't a good team for it. I think this is a much better team for Alolan Persian, and it was a speed tier I desperately needed. So very, very useful pick. So my next wheel pick, I said, you know, enough is enough. I need hazard removal. I don't have hazard removal, and I am slightly hazard weak because I have 2 mons weak to rocks. So I had to do it. I had to find the removers that I desperately wanted, and those removers turned out to be Pokemon that I don't know what they look like. I think this dude has like a hat. Yeah, so I was basically just looking at the list of spinners and defoggers that were left, also knowing exactly how many points I had left and knowing that it wasn't going to be anything good. It's kind of fat, yeah. All I know about this dude is that he has a cane. Because he is old. It's Old Man Jenkins. I have no idea what colours this thing is. It has like a red button nose belly. So yeah, it's a Pokemon I've never used before. It's Mr. Rhyme, which is quite fun. It is always fun to use new mons, ones that you haven't used before. I think it's kind of like this. And then the cane is like a light blue. Sure, that's good enough. I've never used this Pokemon before. I don't know what it looks like. But yeah, this thing has pretty decent stats. Good speed tier, base 70. And gives me Rapid Spin. And Screen Cleaner is also a good ability. You know, it gives me a nice option against Aurora Veil setup kind of teams. You know, anything to dissuade Aurora Veil coming against you is pretty good. It was types I didn't have, so yeah, I was pretty happy. I thought this was a good find. Is it the best spinner in the world? No. Out of what was left? Absolutely. Not even close. Barely a competition. And so then I needed something that was really, really dirt cheap. And I also desperately needed a grass type. Preferably a bulky grass type, because my team is a little bit ground weak. and I found a bit of a classic, low tier classic gem. Again, I do not know what this Pokemon looks like. Kind of like this. Kind of like this. I know this is just Mienshao again, but I genuinely do not know what this Pokemon looks like. It's kind of pink, right? Okay, so that's Lurantis. Gives me Defog, so I have 2 hazard removers, which is better than nothing. Gives me a decently bulky grass type and a ground resist, which I desperately needed because it was currently only Vikavolt, so I was very Edgequake weak. Still am quite Edgequake weak. It helps the Mega Aggron is so bulky that it's not really a ground weakness. But yeah, Lurantis, for 3 points, very, very good pick. Could definitely come to sort of 2 or 3 games. Matchup dependent, of course, but a very useful pick. And so last but not least, you might look at this team and think, you said about a Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Where's that dragon? I also don't have a ground type. I also don't really have a big point Scary Mon. Because somehow, after Dragonite got sniped, I looked at the draft and there was a Pokemon left. And I don't know how it was left. I've never seen this Pokemon go after round 1. It's usually in the first couple of picks. What does it look like? It has kind of like a pointy face. And then like a big thing. Oh yeah. And then he's all snacky. I got Zygarde, baby. Zygarde. He like has some patterns on him. I don't know exactly what those patterns are, so I'm gonna do like that. And then we'll go like grey and grey. And then this can be like green. And his face can be green, sure. Honestly, that is somewhat recognizable. So yeah, I grabbed Zygarde. Very good speed tier for this team. Excellent Dragon type, excellent Ground type, bulky, strong, setup, priority. It ticks so many boxes that my team did not have, because obviously since about round 4 I was building around this Mon, because nobody else could draft it. From about round 3, round 4, it was too high points. You know, it was like doubling up on ground types and dragon types and ice weaknesses. And yeah, I think it works very, very well with Clefable and Aggron. I think it's good with the Alolan Persian. This Mienshao and Chandelure help to break the steel types that Nihilego struggles with. So I think it is a very good pick. I think I'm very reliant upon it. I do not think this team is particularly good. However, this team is fun. And yeah, I scrolled down slightly at some point, apparently. That was probably very noticeable in the video, and I didn't notice it. But yes, this is the team. These drawings are questionable. I think I like the Clefable, and the Nihilego is recognizable, and that's kind of it. This is a bit of a shocker. But you know what? It was fun. I had fun doing it. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.